Hello and welcome to Happy Cells and Souls. My name is Julie Powers and I am a licensed Zumba instructor and I'm a business partner with the Juice Plus company. My mission in life is to help people understand that life is better when you're dancing through it and to inspire healthy living around the world. But my expanded mission is to create better health at the cellular level and more joy at the cellular level. So here we are, we get one body while we're here on earth. We have to take care of it. And I also believe that while we're here, we should have as much happiness and joy in our lives as possible. So that brings me to these conversations. And I have had the honor and privilege of meeting such amazing people throughout my life. And I believe that everybody has a story to share and we can learn from everyone. It doesn't matter what kind of differences we have, political, religious, cultural, social, we can learn from everyone. And so today, I am so excited to be learning from my friend Tim Penner, way out there in Mesa, Arizona. And he is just a really great guy. And I've known him for several years. And we share a passion for helping people get healthier. And I want to read what it is that he is, because otherwise I'm going to mess this up. But Tim, you are a National Academy of Sports Medicine certified corrective exercise specialist and personal trainer. And I would have completely messed that up if I hadn't read it. And you train people of all ages. You've trained someone at 97 years old. You've trained NFL players and CFL, that's the Canadian Football League. For those of you who don't know what that is, I had to look it up. And you know what I love is that you are able to help people all across the spectrum of where they might land on wanting to get in better shape. And you have done some pretty crazy things in your life. And I'm going to read this too, because this just sounds like something that I would not be interested in, but I'm fascinated by. That you were on one of the nation's first sport climbing teams. You participated in a national championship adventure race. You participated in and won your category in the world's largest on-rock climbing competition. And you worked for ESPN at 2 winter and 2 summer X Games. And you were the mascot for a baseball team. That is just great. I love that. And you and your wife, Diane, live in Arizona. And here you are talking to me today. And I'm so excited about this conversation.
I'm so excited about this conversation, and it's because of you. It's because of what you're doing. It's because of what we're doing. Wow, hearing all those things is kind of fun. It's like, yeah, I did do that.
Yeah,
and
you
some
did.
of those are kind of like, why? Yeah, no.
That's what I ask.
but I have to jump in. I'm just going to jump straight in.
Okay.
With Happy Cells and Souls. So you and I both share the passion for helping people. And so many people do, and I get that. And we always try to start with the biggest issues or problems or whatever we see. And we all kind of do that. Mm-hmm. But I love Happy Cells and Souls because, okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of my background and you'll see why I'm going here.
Okay.
So with family business for 26 years, I was George Bailey. If you've ever seen it, It's a Wonderful Life. Yep. Almost to a T. Got out of that. Didn't know what to do with my life. 26 years, I hadn't filled out a resume. Decided I wanted to build people up because I was tired of this world. I was tired of the pain and all that. And how do I do that? Let's build people up. How can I do that? I have always loved watching people do a little more than they thought they were capable, or achieve something that they honestly they wanted, but they weren't sure of. And that really came to the forefront when I got to work for ESPN for the X Games. And, here I am in amongst climbers. So I really got into climbing, and I got to know and hang out with the top climbers in the world. How fun is that?
Right.
But to watch them achieve something that they didn't think they were capable of, it just melts my butter. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into training.
So that was before you were involved with training, right?
That was before I was involved with training. I was still in family business, and yeah, so it was just kind of another big background thing. I'm kind of in a sense, like the Forrest Gump, where I'm surrounded by people that are giants. I'm going to call them giants. And if you get what understand what I'm saying, they are amazing humans. And yes, a lot of them we see as amazing humans on the outside. So I've gotten to work with, like you said, NFL, CFL. I've got to work with Olympic people, gold medalists, Ironman world champion, like me. Okay, how? I don't really get it, but that's what's consistent in my life. And just watching and learning and seeing that the people that continually had the best results or performed better often, but almost always had the best results, had nothing to do with the outside.
Right.
So some of the athletes I have trained are definitely not the strongest, fastest, fittest. Some of the climbers I watched, you just, it's from the outside in, looking at the outside, you're like, well, they'll never win. And as humans, we perceive so much on the outside.
Right.
But it's really what's inside that makes the difference. And so I started getting this when I got into training. I just am very passionate about this because of what I went through. The negative caused me to say, you know, I'm going to live the rest of my life building other people up, because that's the only way we're going to change the world. If I can build somebody up, they're more likely to go build somebody else up, and that perpetuates. And so watching people from the inside out have better results. So I started training. I was just blessed with it was one of the Arizona Cardinals quarterbacks, was one of my first NFL clients, and just worked. I do my research. I'm a research geek. I love that. But realizing the inside out is what makes the difference.
Right.
So in training, especially elite athletes, I realized that I'm excellent at what I'm doing as far as the exercises and the movement patterns, all those things. But one of the things that happened was if they're eating garbage, because I know we're nutritional people, performance isn't there.
Right.
And yet even then I saw people that did not have good diets, good nutrition, and yet they were still outperforming some people that had excellent nutrition. Okay, so this just caused me to go a little deeper. And what I realized was through that whole process, I started learning more about nutrition, got into that, and realized that it's so much more, because coming from a football environment, I grew up wanting to play football, and that's just I don't know what you call it. We're a bunch of muscleheads basically. And so like our logic is whoever's the biggest in the gym has the best nutrition because they're the smartest. So whatever supplements they're taking, okay, there's no logic behind it.
Right.
So seeing all this and going, wait a minute, what I'm seeing, what I'm witnessing, what I've witnessed in other arenas, X Games, baseball, all this other stuff, it's even that isn't critical. And this is why I want to bring up Happy Cells and Souls, because we talk about nutrition and it is vital, it's critical. But even good nutrition, it's like, why is good nutrition good? Because it changes us on a cellular level.
Right.
And so getting all those plants, getting in, massive amount of plants, we have a tendency as humans to go, well, I'm gonna cut out the garbage in my life. Hey, Tim, I didn't eat fast food this weekend. Right. Aren't I good? Yeah, that's great. What did you put in? What's inside? Because it always comes from the inside out. I'm going to say that again. Everything we do comes from the inside out. And this is a critical component of really our lives. So I just love the fact that Happy Cells and Souls is what we're talking about.
Well,
because without that, go.
I was just going to say, it's like you have to help people understand their personal why for getting into shape and being the healthiest person possible. Because from personal experience, I've seen people, women mostly, come into my Zumba classes, and some of them are there because they feel like they have to get in shape because of the relationship they're in, and someone else expects them to get in shape. But the women that are there for themselves because they enjoy it, it's fun, it makes them feel better, it just fills them up with love and light and happiness and enthusiasm and energy, then those are the ones that get more out of it. And so that's what I'm hearing, is that it comes back to, why are you doing this?
Exactly.
Why do you want to get fit? Why do you want to be healthier? And so even that person that was 97 years old that you trained, what was at their core? Why did they want to do that? Probably because they wanted to have a good life, right?
Right. So you just asked the question, you just nailed it. What's at the core?
Right. Oh, you froze up. We froze up. Let's see if we get you back.
There, is that better?
Okay, there you are.
Okay.
You said it right there. It's at the core.
Okay, we'll start from there. It is always at the core. That's where everything comes from. And so I am so excited about this, because that is foundational to everything. And I believe people miss that because we're trying to go outside in. And this, you guys will laugh at this. If, hey, Julie, guess what? I fixed my car today. You'll be like, you did? What did you do? Well, I took a piece of black tape and I put it over. I got the check engine light. So I covered it. Success. I don't have a problem. We tend to look at emotion or output, and that's just a sign of what really is at our core. So my thing is, I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper, and let's find out what's at the cellular level. What's going on there? Well, guess what? There's something even deeper, and that's, I'm going to call it spiritual. And right. I hope if you're watching this, you understand. Let's throw religion out.
Right.
Now.
It's not part of what religion do you belong to. It's deeper than that.
It's deeper than that. It's really the root. I'm going to call it the parent source. But that is the source is joy. The source is agape. And if you don't know what agape is, Julie and I share. We had gone to something that was amazing, and we got to witness some agape. And what is agape? It's love. It's one of the Greek words for love. And in English, we say, I love this, I love that. Love is love. I love tacos. I love my wife. Okay, we throw that word out, but and I'm not going to get into what agape is, but let's just say that this is the root source. This is love, and this is where we come from. And out of that love comes amazing things and strength. So you were talking about your gals that did it for the love, and they performed better. They were more consistent. I'm putting words in your mouth, but you're shaking your head.
Well,
yes,
it's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. With professional athletes, Olympians, with all the people that I've been blessed to hang out with and get to know and all this, it's a belief in the essence of who they are. And so this is my thing now. Yes, we need good training. Yes, we need good environment. Yes, it's great to get your ducks in a row with your finances and your relationships and your health and your nutrition and your whatever. And it feels really happy when all those things line up. But what happens when they don't? Are you still okay? Are you still full of joy and light? And I'm grasping this because when you have this, you're invincible as far as the circumstances.
Right.
It is critical. And this is the other thing I've discovered. It fuels your consistency, your desire for good things, your blessing others just through who you are, which I'm just going to point out, Miss Julie is one of those shining lights. You are a part of my story. You are a part of the giants that God has put into my life. You have a background, you have a history, but here's the thing. It's not the history, it's not the circumstances that made you the light and the joy and the love that exudes out of you. The blessings that we all extract or glean from you are from that essence that's in you. So personally, my latest thing is getting, in a sense, training people to, one, you've got to have it to give it.
Right.
And
that's one of the hardest things for people to understand, is that I can't take time to do this. I can't invest in my health. I have too many other people to take care of. And I was so guilty of that when the time was necessary for me to put everything I had into taking care of my family.
Yes.
And I fell apart physically because of it, and I didn't take care of myself. And so and that's what I think is really hard to grasp, is if we all would take care of ourselves and get that joy and find our why and be part of the solution for our own bodies, then we wouldn't have to spend a lot of time taking care of everybody else, right?
Right.
We could all just be who we're supposed to be and be out there in the world and be spreading all kinds of joy and light. But yeah, so that is a really interesting way to be a personal trainer.
Isn't it?
And to be, like, you're really diving deep with people and then kind of helping them put the pieces together for the rest of the puzzle, right?
Exactly. Because I've realized like I said, I work really hard in the training arena, in the exercise arena. I worked really hard. I did a lot. I did my work. That's great. But I realize if I have an athlete, I create the perfect workout, they do the perfect workout, they push, everything's in line, that's great. But if they don't have the right nutrition, then ultimately that's not going to work. Okay. Right. If they do the training perfectly and the nutrition perfectly, but they don't really believe they can achieve it, guess what ultimately happens?
Right.
So I'm going to bring it back to love, and I'm going to use you. I'm going to throw you under the bus here.
Okay, we have 2 minutes to throw me under the bus. I don't know where this is going.
But here's the thing. Taking care of your family was something that nobody and no thing could stop you from.
Right.
Because of that agape. Because of what was inside of you, you sacrificed your own health. You sacrificed a lot of things. And I'm not saying that's the point. The point is that was ultimately your why. Was rooted in that love, in that agape. So I asked this question. If you're a parent, this is a great question to kind of help you see the picture here. You have children, and I say if it was at a point in time where bullets were involved, and I said, listen, would you take a bullet to save the life of your kid? There is not a parent on earth that wouldn't say, yeah. They wouldn't hesitate. There wouldn't be a question about that.
Right.
Okay? That is ultimate power. That is ultimate strength. And from that root, all of this fruit can be produced towards our consistent health, our consistent growth, our consistent personal growth, which, as Julie is an example of, edifies others, lights the community, inspires the community, gets us off our butts to do things, because it's like, you know what? Whatever she's having, I'll have a double on ice, like, right? So this is what my training has has evolved into. I still work with athletes. I still do the nutrition thing, but without at least grasping some of this. The happy cells and souls, and the soul is really, and I don't want to get deep in this at all, but the soul is kind of that really amazing place in us as humans where we can tap into that depth of love, and yet still live in the real world.
No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter
Circumstances don't matter. You are a shining example of that. I think
you're giving me an awful lot of props, Tim.
Okay.
But we are like, we've already burned through our 20 minutes, and like it goes by so fast. But I do want to wrap this up with the fact that I love that, you know, as we age, as we grow older, we grow wiser, and we learn from everything that's gone before.
Yes.
But we don't live in the past. We look towards the future, but we are now. All we have is now. And so what you're doing now is that you have created this full picture for people, that you're helping them from all of the angles, from all the legs of the stool, to make sure that they can stay upright, is the nutrition and the physical fitness and getting their souls on track. And you're not doing the work, they're doing the work. You're just helping guide them. And I think that is amazing. And there are things we can all do better. All of us can do so much better. And that's what I strive for each day. But I fail a lot, but I fail up. No, because I learn from it, and I'm like, okay, I can do better. And I appreciate the fact that you're sharing this with people, because sometimes I think it just takes a different voice.
Yep.
And your voice matters, and it's important. So thank you so much. Do you have anything you want to wrap up with?
No, I just am so thankful for you. I'm so thankful for all that you are, and this podcast. I think this is really cool. Just keep going. Just keep taking steps, Miss Julie.
I will. And you too, Tim.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.